Hi there, Linda Sherwin here. Remember me. Of course, we all want to be memorable to other people, but what about being memorable to ourselves? Why not use who we were in a particular situation and apply it to a current situation of who we can be? Let me share a story with you about one of my clients. He was the CEO and owner of a corporation, of an organization, and he came to me because he felt he just wasn't connecting with his people. He knew his business, he was certainly personable, and he had a great team of people working for him. Something just didn't seem to be working. For some reason, when he got in front of his people, whether it was a group of people or just a one-on-one situation, there just didn't seem to be any rapport. You might say he had the steak, but no sizzle. We started working together, and interestingly, in looking at his identities, he found within himself the role that was lacking. He had a sense that as a CEO, he had to walk around with a stern look on his face and be very, very serious all the time, making him rather unapproachable. I'm sure you can imagine that. Often in our roles, we use characteristics that have been put upon us or learned either through family or business or friends. Now, his concept of a leader was not who he authentically was, but who he thought he was supposed to be. Ever done that yourself? In going through the process, he realized the role that he was playing wasn't really him. It wasn't effective for the company. Certainly not. And as he started to work through the process and make small changes, his people saw the differences and actually were a little bit surprised. Now, it didn't happen overnight, but very gradually he began to do things a little differently. At first, he started taking off his jacket when he walked around the office. Previously, he would always wear it because to him, that was the sign of a leader. Wow. And people noticed. Then he learned to smile a bit more, which was difficult for him because again, his impression of a leader was someone with a serious and stern look on his face all the time. And guess what? People smiled back. It was a gradual process, and each step made a difference in how he related to his people and they back to him. His people would approach him with new ideas, and he responded very, very well. Gradually, he was able to change. Now, he didn't become a great buddy with everybody in the office, but when he did walk around, he'd say good morning or good afternoon. And if he happened to see, let's say, a birthday card on someone's desk, he'd say, "Wow, it's your birthday." Well, that's great. Happy birthday. He learned to he learned to talk about the nice little things and not just about business. He had a phenomenal rapport with his people, and it helped. It helped in so many ways. First of all, how his people worked with themselves, with each other, and also how they worked with his customers. His customers found it a much, much better company to work with, and his business grew. It improved the bottom line. And do you want to know what the role was that he chose to identify with that made a difference? A scout leader. A scout leader, a role he had when he was much, much, much younger. But that role embodied what he authentically needed to be the very best CEO he could be. So remember me. Curtain up. It's showtime.